Dr. Sella here, and I have a friend of mine who always tells me, don't make more than 3 videos a day. It's too much for coaches to watch. And I really agree with him, but I'm sorry. I can't let this one go today, coaches. Here's the number one thing I see in underachieving coaches. When you look at an underachieving football program, when I see an underachieving football program, the number one thing I see is a coach and his staff trying to figure things out. They're trying to figure things out. They're trying to figure out systematically where they're at. And you see them constantly change what they're doing. You see them go, and every week they're running different concepts. They're trying to come up with an identity. The worst thing you can have is an identity crisis. If you don't know what you're doing, you are better off just doing something and sticking with it through the entire year. Who cares about people's feelings? I just had this conversation with somebody who's about ready to become one of my clients. I said, the problem is coaches are so afraid of their players' feelings, their coaches' feelings, and if they just can man up and not be afraid to do what coaches did 25 years ago and not care about people's feelings, you can lead people. The problem is you can't lead when you're living in fear. Success is on the other side of fear. Let me repeat that for you. Success is on the other side of fear. Because God did not give you a spirit of fear. He gave you the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. But you got to use it. You've got God's power, God's love, God's sound mind. You got to use it. So, what I see in underachieving football programs, the one common thing I see is identity crisis. They're constantly changing what they do on offense. And they're constantly trying to figure things out. What's to figure out? You line up, you run something. If it doesn't work, you get better at it the next week. And you keep doing it. And yeah, I know the wokers are going to scare you and go, well, if you do that, if you do something over and over and expect the same results, that's the definition of insanity. Is it? Is it really? That's what people say to gaslight you into making you think you're a bad coach. The bad coaching is when you have an identity crisis. You can't have an identity crisis. When you work with kids, you got to have conviction. When you lead a school football program, you got to have more conviction than everybody. More than the players, more than the assistant coaches, more than the stakeholders. You got to have more conviction than them. Every video I make anymore comes down to the same thing. Man up. Man up. Masculinity matters. It's always the same thing with these videos because I'm seeing a massive crisis in this profession. But what I'm also seeing in this profession is if you just come in, get under center, and run the 5 basic concepts that Air Force runs, you're going to beat, your chances of beating everybody grow exponentially right now. Because in a world that's getting softer and softer, you get harder and harder, you're going to make these people quit. If you persist with the 5 core runs of this offense and switch, vert, and tighten in your passing game, you are going to surpass people right freaking now. You're going to do it right now. You have no idea the power you have. Power's on the other side of fear. It comes back to 2 Timothy 1:7 in the Bible. If you don't read the Bible, I don't know what to tell you. No, not too late to start, by the way. Here's the point. Underachieving programs are constantly looking for answers. People who are elite achievers, they have the answers, they apply the answers, they persist with the answers, and they keep going. And they don't stop, and they don't get tired, and they don't care about their feelings. They care about the facts. And the facts are no football program in the FBS does more with less than Air Force. It's not close. There's only 3 programs in the FBS that don't give athletic scholarships. Army, Navy, Air Force. Air Force won the Commander-in-Chief, and that's that. They do more. They do it under center. They're 5-0 against their last Power 5 opponents, so you know they've overachieved. They're 34-11 in their last 4 years. They figured it out. By doing what they do, you have an opportunity to win now, 2023. And I'm the guy who can show you, tell you, have you install it, practice it, play, call it, and persist through it. So now you got to ask yourself, is it time to pick up the phone and call me? Because I will change your life. My number's on the thumbnail of this video, so is my website, the Triple Option Football Academy. And the Triple Option Football Academy camps will show you how. If you want to learn more, go to tripleoptionfootball.com or pick up the phone and give me a call. We'll talk soon. Kill the identity crisis.